Hello students, my name is Rajkumar and welcome to the video lecture series of Introduction to Trigonometry. That is the chapter number 8 of NCERT textbooks. So in this video lecture series is helpful for CBSE students, those who are currently studying in 10th class. Okay. So we'll start our discussion with word trigonometry. Okay. So trigonometry, actually trigonometry is derived from three Greek letters which are tri, then we have gon, and then finally we have metron. So now we try to understand the meaning of each Greek word. So tri, while translating this word into English, we get tri means three. Here we have gon, which means sides, and next term we have that is metron. Metron means measurement. Metrons means measurement. So in trigonometry, what we basically do is we try to measure the sides of any triangle, and more specifically I can say in trigonometry we try to establish the relation between angles and the sides of any triangle. Okay, so I can write what we do in trigonometry. So I can write in trigonometry we relate the sides of the triangle with angles. In trigonometry we relate the sides of the triangle with angles using trigonometric ratios. So what are trigonometric ratios? We'll study about this in lecture number 2. But as of now you can understand in trigonometry what we'll do, we will establish the relation between sides of the triangle and the angles. Okay, so now we formally define what is trigonometry. So next heading is, now we can formally define the trigonometry. Okay, so let's write down the definition of trigonometry. So trigonometry is the branch of mathematics. Trigonometry is the branch of mathematics. Trigonometry is the branch of mathematics which deals with the trigonometry is the branch of mathematics which deals with the relations of the sides and the angles of triangles. Okay, so in trigonometry we study the relation between the sides and the angles of a given triangle. Okay, so in trigonometry most of the time we will be studying about the triangle. So let's just briefly discuss about the triangle. Hope already you know what is triangle, what is the vertex, and what is the angle, what is line segment. But for completion's sake I am just quickly brushing up those ideas which we have already studied in class 9th. Okay, so next heading we have is triangle. So first of all we have to understand the meaning of word triangle. So from the name itself we can understand triangle is made of two words, that is tri, and then we have angle. Tri, which means 3. So we can say any plane figure which has 3 angles is called the triangle. So this is how my triangle looks like. Okay, so now we formally define what is triangle. Okay, now we can formally define the triangle. So I can write any plane figure bounded by 3 line segments. Any plane figure bounded by 3 line segments is called triangle. Okay, so you have already studied about the triangle. So if I draw the structure of triangle. So this is how my triangles look like. So I can say this is my vertex A, this is my vertex B, and this is my vertex C. So I can say the points where any two of the line segments meet each other are called the vertex. So I can say here I get three vertex A, B, and C. These are called the vertices of a triangle, and the line segments are called the sides of the triangle. So I can say here AB, AC, and BC. These are the sides of the triangle. And here we have got three angles, angle A, angle B, and angle C. These are called the angles of the triangle. So I have three angles. First is angle A, then angle B, and angle C. These are called the angles. So all nine things in total are called the parameters of the triangle. So I can say there are 9 parameters of any triangle, 3 vertices, 3 sides, and 3 angles. So these are called the parameters of triangle. Parameters of triangle. So if somebody asks how many parameters does a triangle have, there are 9 parameters, 3 vertices, 3 sides, and 3 angles. Okay. And next we have this sum of all interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So next we can write the sum of all interior angles, the sum of all interior angles of any triangle, the sum of all interior angles of any triangle is 180 degree. What do I mean by interior? Interior means those angles which are made within the triangle are called the interior angles. So here we see angle A, angle B, and angle C. There are 3 interior angles of a triangle. So if I add them all, I will get equal to 180 degree. So I can say angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. So that's the formula we have to memorize. So in this relation, if I am given any 2 angles of the triangle, I can find the third angle using this formula. Okay. So next we can study about the different types of triangle based on the side, based on the angles, but I am not going into that much detail. Actually here we need only one specific kind of triangle, that is the right angle triangle. So we will directly study about the right angle triangle. So next heading is right angled triangle. Right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. So first of all, let's define what is right angle triangle. So any triangle in which one of its interior angle is 90 degree is called, any triangle in which one of its interior angle is 90 degree is called right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. Okay. And in trigonometry we will study about this triangle only, right angle triangle. So let me draw the diagram of right angle triangle. So this is how my right angle triangle looks like. So this is vertex A, and this is vertex B, and this is vertex C, and my angle B is 90 degree. So this symbol, this represents the, let's say I have here P and Q and R. So if I put a small square bracket near to the vertex Q, so this is the symbol of right angle triangle. I don't need to write the 90 degree over here. This symbol itself means this is 90 degree. So from here I can say angle PQR is 90 degree. Similarly here I can say angle ABC is equal to 90 degree. Okay. So now we define what is the hypotenuse, what is base, and what is perpendicular. So first of all we define what is hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is nothing but the side opposite to the 90 degree angle. So we can write the side opposite to the 90 degree angle the side opposite to the 90-degree angle is called hypotenuse, okay, hypotenuse. Okay, so here in this triangle, which one is hypotenuse? So this is my 90-degree angle, so the side opposite to the 90-degree angle is AC. So I can say in this triangle AC is the hypotenuse, and in symbolically we will represent it by H. H stands for hypotenuse. Okay, and next we have to define, that is the perpendicular and base. So before that I can say, in this right angle triangle, angle B is equal to 90 degree, and we all know that sum of all interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So from here I can easily say angle A plus angle C is also 90 degree, and I can easily say angle A and angle C are acute angle. So I can say in right angle triangle, right angle is the greatest angle, and we all know that the side opposite to the greatest angle is always greatest. So I can say hypotenuse is the greatest side. Hypotenuse is the greatest side in any right angle triangle. So what do I mean by this? If I measure the length of AB, AC and BC, then I will find that AC is the greatest. So from here I can write AC is greater than AB, and AC, the measurement of length AC is greater than BC. Okay, so this is the relationship we have got. Okay, and next we have to define what is perpendicular and what is base. So to find the hypotenuse, which is very easy, we take the side opposite to the 90-degree angle, that is called the hypotenuse. So if I consider the another right angle triangle, let's say I take this right angle triangle which is given over here. So let's say this is P, this is Q, and this is R, and this is my 90 degree. So I can say PR, which is the side opposite to the 90 degree angle, that's why it is called the hypotenuse. Okay, now if I define this angle R, PRQ, let's say if I define this angle PRQ as theta, so let's say this angle is theta, and theta is a Greek alphabet. Okay, and this is read as theta. Okay, so if I define this theta, then I can define what is perpendicular and what is base. So first of all, let's define perpendicular. So I can say perpendicular, the side which is opposite to the angle theta. The side which is opposite to the angle theta is called perpendicular. Okay, so I can say here the side opposite to the theta is nothing but that is PQ. So I can say PQ here is our perpendicular, and symbolically it is represented by P. So I can say PQ is P. Now we have got one more remaining side, that is called the base. So again, just revise again, what is hypotenuse? The side opposite to the 90 degree angle is called the hypotenuse, and if we define the theta, and that side opposite to the theta is called the perpendicular, and the remaining side is called the base. So here we will write base, and here we can say that the QR side which is adjacent to the angle theta, that's why it is called the base. So if we want to write the definition of base, we can say the side adjacent to the angle theta, is called base. Okay, so here we can say that which side is adjacent to the angle theta, that is QR. So here I can say QR is my base and which is denoted by B. So this is hypotenuse, this is perpendicular, and this is base. Okay, so if we are given any right angle triangle, we can tell which is hypotenuse, which is perpendicular, and which is base. Here one important thing to notice is hypotenuse will always be the same, which is the side opposite to the 90-degree angle. I cannot tell that which one is perpendicular and which one is base until I am defining the value of theta. If this angle is the theta, then PQ will be perpendicular and QR will be the base. If this angle is the theta, then QR will be the perpendicular and PQ will be the base. So perpendicular and base depends on which angle we are defining as theta. If I am not defining the theta, I cannot tell which one is perpendicular and which one is base. But hypotenuse will always be the same, which is the side opposite to the 90-degree angle. Hope this much is clear to you. Next we study about the Pythagorean theorem. Next heading is Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So what is Pythagorean theorem? Actually Pythagorean was a mathematician. He gave the relation between the sides of any right angle triangle. So we can write this theorem relates the sides of any right angle triangle. This theorem relates the sides of any right angle triangle. Okay. So now we'll see the statement of Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So what is Pythagorean theorem? So we'll write the statement and then we'll write its mathematical form. So Pythagorean theorem, in any right angle triangle, Pythagorean theorem says in any right angle triangle, the square of greatest side, and we all know in any right angle triangle, greatest side is nothing but hypotenuse. So we can say in any right angle triangle, the square of greatest side is always equal to the sum of squares of remaining sides. Okay, so that's the statement for Pythagorean theorem. So let's just try to understand this statement with the help of a diagram. So let's say I have this right angle triangle over here. This is my 90-degree angle, this is vertex Q, this is vertex P, and this is vertex R. So what is the statement? The square of the greatest side is equal to the sum of square of remaining side. So I can say what is the greatest side? That is PR. So this theorem says PR square is nothing but the sum of square of remaining side. So I have to take the square of remaining side and then add. So remaining side are PQ and QR. I have to take the square. So PQ square plus QR square, and then I have to add. Okay. So this is my hypotenuse, and PQ and QR can be perpendicular or base depending on which angle we are defining as theta. Let's say if I define this as a theta, so I can say this is my hypotenuse, the side opposite to theta, this is called the perpendicular, and the side which is adjacent to the angle theta is called the base. So from here, now if I want to write the mathematical form of Pythagorean theorem, I can say hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. Okay. So why this theorem is helpful is, if I am given any two sides of right angle triangle, by using this statement, by using this formula, I can find the remaining side. Okay. So let's just write what's the importance of this theorem. I can say using this theorem or using this formula, we can find the remaining side Using this formula we can find the remaining side. If we are given any two sides of triangle, okay. So let's just try to understand this with the help of example, okay. So let's consider two questions. So first let's take question number 1. Let triangle ABC be any right angle triangle at B. It means angle B is 90 degree, and if AB is equal to 4 centimeter and BC is equal to 3 centimeter, then find the length of AC, okay. So now we'll solve this question with the help of Pythagorean theorem. First of all, let's just draw the diagram of right angle triangle. So that's my right angle triangle. This is my angle B, because it is said that angle B is right angle. Then this is my vertex A and this is my vertex C. What is given? AB is given, that is 4 centimeter. BC is given 3 centimeter. I have to find the length of AC. So now I can say AC is nothing but which is hypotenuse. Now I can easily apply the Pythagorean theorem. What does Pythagorean theorem says? The sum of the square of the greatest side, which is nothing but AC, square of the greatest side is the sum of square of remaining side. What are the remaining side? That is AB and BC. So I can write AB square plus AC square. Now I plug in all the values. AC, which is nothing but hypotenuse, so this will be hypotenuse square, equal to AB, which is equal to 4, so this will be 4 square, plus AC, this will be BC. Since AC is the hypotenuse, AB and BC are remaining side, so the square of greatest side will be equal to the sum of square of remaining side, so remaining side will be AB and BC. So hypotenuse square equals to 4 square plus 3 square. 4 square is nothing but 16 plus 3 square is 9. So from here we get hypotenuse square equals to 25. So we finally get AC square equals to 25. If I take the square root both sides, I'll get AC equals to plus 5 minus centimeter. So from here we will get the two values of AC, that is AC equals to 5 centimeter, AC equals to minus 5 centimeter. And we know that AC is the length of the triangle, that can never be negative. So AC equals to minus 5 is rejected. So AC equals to 5 centimeter. So this way, by using this theorem, we can find the remaining side if we are given any two sides of a right angle triangle. Okay. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's take one more question on Pythagorean theorem. Question number 2. Question number 2 says, let's say I have a triangle right here. This is the right angle triangle, and here I have Q, this is my P, and this is my R. And let's say this is given as 6, this is given as 10 centimeter, and I have to find QR, which is equal to X. Okay. So question is, in adjacent figure, find the value of X. Okay. So what can I observe in this adjacent figure? That this is the right angle triangle. Here I am given the hypotenuse and one remaining side. So I can apply the Pythagorean theorem to find the value of X. So I can say, using Pythagorean theorem, I get the square of greatest side is equal to the sum of square of remaining side. So remaining side is PQ and QR. So if I plug in all values, what is PR, which is nothing but 10. So here I'll get 10 square equals to PQ, which is nothing but 6. So 6 square plus QR, which is nothing but X. So this will be X square. So from here I'll get 100 equal to 36 plus X square. So if I transfer 36 to the left hand side, I'll get 100 minus 36. While solving, I'll get X square equals to 64, and here I'll get X equals to plus minus 8. So I'll get the two values of X, that is 8 and X equals to minus 8. And but I can say X is nothing but the length of the line segment QR, and we know the side of any triangle is always non-negative. So this cannot be negative. So X equals to minus 8 is rejected and X equals to 8 is accepted. So I can say the length of QR, which is equal to X, is 8 centimeter. Okay. So I hope you have understood what is Pythagorean theorem, how can we apply the Pythagorean theorem, and what is hypotenuse, base and perpendicular. So in this lecture we have discussed the basic of right angle triangle, what is trigonometry, what is the main motive of trigonometry. That's all we have seen in this lecture.